How you feeling, Nick?
I'm feeling a little bit better.
Hey,
Sinuses
sick
and
for a
shit
while.
still fucking with me.
That's
My
everybody.
voice is better than it was.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, your voice is a lot better than it was.
Oh,
But I
now it's
gotta go to the
cooking.
hospital with my mom tomorrow, so I'll
Ew.
probably get sick again.
Oh,
So
no.
many germs floating around in places. I hate
Not
going there.
kidding.
Yeah, they're not the best place to be.
Yeah. If it wouldn't be for my mom, I wouldn't be going.
Maybe wear a mask.
If there's anybody else, I'd stick them in a
Those
Uber.
don't help. Those
No,
help
they
not
don't. They
nothing.
really don't.
Oh, these
Psychological help. I don't think they help.
They don't.
I agree.
That's been shown. They don't stop anything.
But they
Like
look cool.
anything.
I like the
Yeah, they
black.
look cool.
I look like a
Hi,
ninja.
Lisa.
Oh, I'm sorry.
If anything,
Gleason.
you're still breathing in your own germs.
Ah,
Yeah,
Not
but
them.
you know,
That's
they
even
yours.
worse.
So
Yep.
Thank you, Jim Sella.
Hi, Lisa.
Hello. Can anybody hear me?
I can't see.
I can hear you,
hi,
Endora.
Endora.
Thank you. Hi, everybody.
Hello. We were just talking about the efficacy of masks.
efficacy. It's a funny word.
The effectiveness.
It
of
just
that.
don't sound right.
Let me Google, make sure I get it.
It sounds like one of them words that you say to sound sophisticated, making shit up. Then again, I guess that lets y'all know my intellect level.
It's a good word. I love words.
Anything with more than 4 syllables,
Syllables.
I talk to me.
CS4,
Syllables.
exactly.
With more syllables.
Yes. See, I couldn't even say that word.
I had to get
Where's the?
It refers to the capacity for producing a desired result or effect, so I would say you were saying that the masks did not have high efficacy.
Where's the?
Why is your volume so low, bro? I can barely hear you.
Yeah, me too.
We know your voice is bigger than that.
I gotta pull her over.
Must be on your end.
That's gotta be where it is.
Why am I singing that song? Jesus.
Are you saying that Jim's voice is low? I can turn it up if I need to.
Yeah, turn your voice up. This is
Oh, yeah.
exactly what we're saying.
I need to
Just
turn
take one, two.
that up.
Efficacy means.
Hey, Fifth.
Bring it back down. They're talking about efficacy.
Efficacy. It sounds like a lady product.
It does sound like a lady product.
I didn't think about it that way.
Sounds like a drug.
Sounds like a sex aid. Efficacy.
Attorneys.
Efficacy. I like that.
Sorry. I don't
Efficacy.
know why that came
I
from
prefer the word efficiency. It's more like my level.
Hey, Kara's. I used to know an incognito.
But y'all know my level. I'm way down there.
No, I see. I hear you pretty good, Nick.
No, I wasn't talking about my volume. I was talking about my intelligence.
How you doing, Nick?
A lot of you don't know this is
That
Kara.
Cajun.
She's one of my best buds.
Hello, Kara.
Hi, Kara.
Hello, Carol. Welcome in.
Welcome, welcome.
Hope you enjoy our comedy and have to come back.
She was married to my SL son.
Oh,
So she was kind of like my daughter-in-law, but was my best friend first. So yeah.
Hey, Fiddler.
I
There
guess
you
you
are,
got her
you're back.
in the divorce.
Hey,
Hello.
Fiddler.
Uh-huh.
You got her in the divorce?
Is that Jim?
Yes, Jim.
Yeah.
Did you
I
get
know.
her in the divorce?
I don't
Did I
think
get
my
the
mother's
divorce?
my
No.
voice. Hello,
Did
everybody.
you get Kara in
Hello,
the divorce?
about.
Yes, I got Kara. Yeah, I got custody of Kara in the divorce. Yes.
There you go, there you go.
We were
These
friends.
people talking over
We
it.
were friends before.
Yeah, okay.
Oh yeah, no, we were friends before she married my kid, and then she married my kid, and then now she's not married.
You're
to
not
the kid,
friends
but I got her.
anymore.
Possession is 9/10 of the boobs.
It is.
Okay.
I don't know why I said that. It should be law.
You know what? I think you got boobs on the brain again tonight, dear.
That's his main thought.
I do. I got a couple of main thoughts.
Oops.
That's okay. I had a couple of sayings that I was going to say, but I caught my tongue.
Well, you know, it's in my act tonight, so it was on my mind, I suppose.
Oh boy.
Well,
You got boob jokes? Here we go.
every time you say the word boob, you have to type it in a local.
Why?
So anybody's wearing a boob thing, they could boob thing.
Like that.
Otherwise, you gotta put
Yeah.
a Linden in the swear jar.
Boob thing, come on.
It's the boob thing. It's the boob thing. Come on.
You got a swear jar where you can put a Linden in if you.
No.
Get
Yeah,
your
there's a
boob thing, get
Cash
your boob
register.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly like that.
Hey, my bartender's gone. What
There,
happened?
yay.
Hey.
Oh, that's
Yay.
right, yes, time.
She got some good clothes and decided to go out.
Somebody's gonna pick her up. That
Hey,
bitch.
Nick,
How
how
do
come you
I
look like you're
have that
tipping
here?
sideways? Like you're...
Was it break time? Maybe she's.
I don't know.
That's his
It looks straight up to me.
She might be. She might be smoking.
154,
Yeah, you were just-
1691.
You were at an angle earlier.
154, 1.
Oh, I guess I was leaning to the right a little bit.
I
Hey,
Fixing
Moving to the
myself.
right, it was like
You know,
were like
guys
the
gotta
weather
do
vane
that.
Or something, pointing the...
154, 1.
Gravity and hanging things, you know. All right, everybody. Welcome to Hooligans Underground. Welcome to Standing Room. Yay! Give yourselves a big hand. Y'all survived another week without it.
Weekend.
Weather's not on tonight because her sister's in town.
Whose sister?
Wyvern.
Wyvern's sister
Oh.
in Florida. She might be able to sneak in
Good.
later if her sister takes a nap.
My sister's coming to town tonight, too.
Oh, is she?
Yay.
Oh, good.
She won't be here till like 9:30 after
Oh,
everything.
My sister's dead. If she shows up, I'm in deep shit.
That would be some shit.
It can happen.
Might be 6 feet of deep shit.
crazier shit.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of dead,
Speaking of dead.
Speaking of Dad.
Boudreaux is on his deathbed.
Oh.
Yep. And he asks Marie, he says, Marie, soon I'm going to be gone forever. But there's something I got to know. In all these 50 years of marriage, y'all heard this one already, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who would you know we haven't?
I could skip to the end.
Oh.
No.
All right.
Yeah.
In all these 50 years of marriage, have you ever been unfaithful to me? Not that other guy. Now Marie, she replied, she said, well, Boudreaux, I got to be honest with you. Yes, I've been unfaithful to you 3 times during 50 years. But I always did it for a very good reason. Now Boudreaux, his feelings are hurt. He don't know what to do. He's dying and his heart hurts.
He's broke.
He says, Marie, I never suspected at all. Can you just tell me what you mean by good reasons? Well, the first time was shortly after we was married. And we were about to lose our brand new house because we couldn't pay the mortgage. Do you remember that evening I went to see the banker, and the very next day the loan was extended. We didn't lose the house. Now Boudreaux, he did recall that visit, and he remembered the banker, and he remembered her going over there. So he says, I can forgive you. You saved our home and our marriage. But what about the second time? Well, Marie says, do you remember when you were so sick and we didn't have no insurance, didn't have no money, but you needed that heart surgery? Well, I went to see your doctor one night, and if you recall, he did that surgery for free.
Ooh.
Now, Now Boudreaux says, yes, I do recall that. I remember. And you did it to save my life. So I can forgive you for that. Now what about that third time? Marie says, well, do you remember when you run for president of the golf club and you needed 73 more votes? That's a funny one.
I forgot that it was 73.
Well, there you go. It wasn't a waste at all.
I thought it was 73 virgins.
Virgins. I don't think there was virgins. I didn't say that.
In a
I don't
golf
think you can
club?
get that many down here. Unless you have to, you know,
It's a joke. It's a joke.
elementary
It's a joke.
school or something. Yeah, that wasn't funny at all. Alright, one more, then we'll do open mic. Because
Uh-oh, oops, again.
I didn't do it that time.
I prefer it when y'all do jokes. Alright,
Motorboat.
after living in South Louisiana all of their lives, Boudreaux and Thibodeau ain't never been duck hunting.
Really?
You believe that shit?
I don't believe it.
Sportsman paradise here. Every duck on the North American continent flies over Louisiana. They got to, you know, the river, the water, all that. I done got lost. So they decided to give it a try one day. And they spent the entire day with no luck at all, not one duck. Now they was determined to stay out there as long as there was daylight and keep on going instead of going home empty-handed. There's still no luck. They finally gave up, and as they were driving home, they were discussing what they might have been doing wrong. They had all the best equipment, the best shotguns, the best duck calls, the best decoys, everything. Thibodeau, he finally tells Boudreaux, he thinks he knows the reason. He said, Boudreaux, I think we wasn't throwing the dog high enough.
Oh my goodness.
Must have been a little dog. A mini beagle.
Football.
Mini beagle. Yeah. Alright, open mic time, y'all. Who's coming?
I'm good.
Okay.
Or who wants to go up? Am I jumping
Go ahead,
somebody?
Dora.
Somebody go. Alright, Endora. Alright, everybody, let's welcome Endora.
Hey, everybody. 1 second. There we go. How's everybody tonight? Looks a little bit like Romper Room
Sugar
again.
bean testicles.
Huh? So, it's most of you know, testicles? We're talking boobs and testicles. We're doing anatomy?
Hi, Sonia.
Ow! Wow! Doing the anatomy
Hi,
thing.
Sonia.
So anyways, long story short, some of you know that I, in my profession, I was an emergency room physician, but I also was in the military. And one thing that the people who are veterans, we love to banter back and forth and bust each other's chops. And some of the most dangerous comments you could make is a military private saying, I learned this in boot camp, and a military sergeant, lieutenant, military lieutenant saying, based on my experience, and a military captain saying, I was just thinking, because you're screwed at that point, and a military warrant officer saying, okay, now watch this shit. Normally my favorite saying was, hold my beer. Then you go, oh lordy, what is she into now? But you know what? Like in the military, we banter back and forth, and why do some of the members of the military often marry lovers from a foreign country they were deployed in? Anybody know? Well, When they come home, they get to leave the in-laws thousands of miles away.
That's good. That's good.
And you know what? And there's this thing, you know, we're the Stars and Stripes, so obviously we're a country that we're proud of. And how many different military branches use the stars? And that's a very good question. And this was kind of a question that you asked you in basic training. And if you didn't get it right, you were end up, you know, picking up cigarette butts or whatever. So the Army sleeps beneath the stars, we all know. The Navy uses the stars that navigate, and the Air Force chooses the best hotels based on the stars. Marine Corps, they don't care. They don't use the stars. And, you know, why does the military only allow dress shirts during ceremonies and events? Because civilian casualties are absolutely unacceptable. And my military friends kept asking what my military rank was, but I kept telling him it's private.
That's good. That's a good one.
And you know, a cookie and a piece of cake joined the Army, but eventually they abandoned their fellow soldiers. Now they're wanted for desertion.
Desertion.
That's how the
And,
cookie crumbles.
you know, we have in the military, we have all branches of doctors. We have urologists, we have optometrists, we actually have gynecologists now in the military. We didn't have those. You had to go to a civilian doctor. We have neurologists. We have all sorts of different specialties. We have emergency room docs like me.
Psychiatrist.
So, we're called triage doctors at that point. So why did the military optometrist set the clock to military time? He wanted to see 2020.
He's waiting for that 820.
That's right. And there was one particular sergeant that was worried about everything possible. However, one day he came into the room whistling with a smile on his face. Now, if you guys know, you got a sergeant, which is also known as an NCO, a non-commissioned officer in charge. He comes in with a smile on his face. You're instant screwed. The other sergeants noticed this, and they were looking more relaxed as ever. What happened, Sarge? You seem to be in a good mood. He said. He replied, I said, I'm paying a private to do all my worrying for me. And of course, we're like, all right. Well, how much are you paying him? $2,000 a week, he replied. Well, how can you afford that? I can't, he said, but that's his worry now.
Oh.
And if you could have one superpower, this is a question we're all sitting around joking around. If you could have one superpower, one Air Force pilot said to a Navy seaman, if you could have one superpower, and he says to the seaman, you're in the Navy, but you can't swim? The seaman replies, are you saying that since you're in the Air Force, you're able to fly?
Oh, that's a good comeback. Oh,
Right.
yeah, that was good. That was good. Although I didn't know seamen could talk.
Sorry.
That's a good one. That is good.
Me for
Hello, is there anybody in there?
So a soldier went into the so you know what happened to the soldier that went into the enemy bar? He got bombed.
You got bombed.
He got bombed. And you know, one day it was pouring like crazy. A big puddle formed right outside the local, what we call the club on the base. And this old Marine sergeant, because a lot of the, you know, there's always Marine bases and Army bases around, so a lot of the veterans who retired can use like the Air Force base. And this old Marine sergeant was standing near the edge of the puddle with his fishing line in the puddle. Now you've got to visualize this. Well, when a Navy pilot who happened to also be at the base at the time saw him, he said he decided to approach the old man to see what he was doing. You know, he's like, what the heck? And he says, fishing? So the sergeant says, yeah, I'm fishing. Poor old fool thought the Navy officer, so he invited the old man inside to buy him a drink. Well, while they're drinking their beers, the smart-ass fighter pilot asked, "So how many did you end up catching today?" "You the 8th," said the old Marine.
That was good.
Good one.
So, military and the real estate. And you know what? The Air Force is notorious for this, but one of the reasons the Army, the Air Force, the Army, the Navy, and the Marines bicker so much is because they don't speak the same language. For example, here's what happens when each of them is told to secure a building. The Army will post guards around the building. The Navy will turn out the lights and lock all the doors. The Marines will kill everyone outside and then set up headquarters. The Air Force will take out a 5-year lease with an option to buy at the end.
That's true.
So here's a little story I want to tell you. And you have to listen carefully and then we'll line this up. So, big super carrier, big aircraft carrier. This is aircraft carrier Nimitz. And they saw something on their radar. They're so and so. Picture this in your mind. They're out to sea, and there's this obstacle in their way. This is super carrier Essex. Please divert your course 250 degrees, going north, whatever. This is the U.S. Navy vessel Super Essex. Please divert your course. They're super carrier. Comes back unable to do so. We're seeing where we are. He says no. So the captain of the ship comes back. He says, "No, you don't get it. I am the biggest, meanest aircraft carrier the whole military has. We can wipe you out. You need to move. We're coming through."
Wow.
So the guy comes back. He says, "Well, this is the Canadian lighthouse. Let's say Halifax. Your call."
Oh no. Like they're gonna move.
White House ain't going nowhere.
They ain't going nowhere. So drill sergeant yells at his young boot, "I didn't see you at camouflage training this morning, Private." And the private replies, "Well, thank you very much, sir. You've been a great audience. Thank you very much. We're going to keep it short and sweet tonight."
Awesome.
Hey, Endora!
All right, big hand for Endora, y'all.
Hey, good job.
Well done, Endora!
All right, y'all. It's another one about Boudreaux
Yay, Boudreaux.
and his fishing antics. You know how them coon asses like to fish. All right, Boudreaux. He been fishing down by the bayou all day long. And he done run out of worms.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Now, he's about ready to leave when he seen a snake with a big old frog in his mouth. Now, he knows that them big old bass fish like them frogs.
Oh, sure.
But he decided to steal that frog. The snake was a cottonmouth.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
So Boudreaux had to be real careful
Yeah.
or he get bit. So he snuck up behind the snake and grabbed him round the head. That old snake didn't like that shit one bit. He squirmed, wrapped himself around Boudreaux's arm, and tried to get himself free. But Boudreaux, he had a real good grip. Well, Boudreaux pried his mouth open and got the frog and puts it in his bait can. Now Boudreaux knows that he can't let that snake go because it's going to bite him good.
Yep.
So he got a plan. He reached into the back pocket and pulls out a pint of moonshine. And he pours some of them drops into the snake's mouth. Well, the snake's eyeballs rolled back in his head, and his body went limp.
Uh-oh.
And with that, Boudreaux tossed that snake into the bayou. Then he went to fishing. Now, a little while later, Boudreaux, he feels something tapping on his barefoot toe. Just hanging in the water. He slowly looked down, and there was that damn water moccasin with 2 more frogs. 2 frogs for the alcohol.
Like that moonshine.
Did they taste like Budweiser?
Nice.
Budweiser. That was one of my favorite commercials.
Right?
Classics.
That and where's the beef?
Yeah, that one too, the old lady.
Where the beef?
They don't make them like that anymore. You know?
Alright, we found a real quick one. Then we'll go straight to open mic. Right after. Alright, Thibodeau got himself a job downtown New Orleans. Never mind, I told y'all this one last week. I remember. So, open mic time.
Me, please. Hello.
Okay, Pepper.
Okay, come on.
Hi, everyone.
Pepper.
Hey, Pepper.
Alright, everybody, let's welcome up Pepper to the stage.
I'm a
Hey,
pepper.
Pepper.
She's a pepper.
Yay!
Would you like
Pepper,
to be
you
a pepper
Peter
too?
How's everyone doing?
Good.
Pepper.
Good.
Good to know. I got my husband a pug dog yesterday. Despite the squashed nose, the bulging eyes, and the rolls of fat, the dog really seems to like him.
Oh, it's bad.
Dogs are so forgiving.
That's a classic joke.
My husband said to me, on your gravestone, I'll put the words, cold as ever. I replied, fine. On yours, I'll put stiff at last.
Oh, oh, oh.
Oh my.
How many animals can you fit into a pair of leggings? It's 2 calves, an ass, a beaver, a shitload of hairs, 1 camel, and a fish that no one can find.
Wow.
Love it. The girl can't help it. She carrying a heavy load.
Oh, excuse me, I was coughing. Teacher, I have a green ball in one hand, a green ball in another, so what do I have? The student replies, Kermit the Frog begging for mercy.
Oh.
Today a cop pulled me over and asked what was in my cup. I told him just water, but he checked and said, ma'am, this smells like wine. I said, oh my God, Jesus did it again. I got arrested.
I got arrested.
That's funny.
When I was younger, my parents didn't take me to a psychiatrist. They were able to open my chakra, stabilize my karma, and clean my aura with one single slap.
That's where it used to work.
That's the way.
Okay, guys. How come when your wife is pregnant, people rub her tummy and say, congratulations? But no one rubs your balls and says, good job.
Tell me about it.
So I get to do it myself.
Alright, thank you.
True.
Alright, big hand for Pepper, y'all.
Way to go.
Hi, Pepper.
Hey, Pepper.
P-E-P-P-E.
That was awesome.
Pepper.
right, Boudreaux and Thibodeau, they walked into the Bayou Bar and ordered a couple of drinks. They then each pull out a sandwich from their pocket, began to munch down. Hot sausage po' boys, in case y'all was wondering.
Oh, that's what it is.
Now, seeing this, the angry manager, we call him Bado. The angry manager approaches him. He said, "Excuse me, you can't be eating your own sandwiches up in here." Boudreaux and Thibodeau, they looked at each other, shrugged, and exchanged sandwiches. See, now they're not eating their own sandwich.
Oh, you're so clever.
Oh, that's a good one.
All right, Thibodeau had left home to attend his and Boudreaux's monthly royal order of the Raccoon Lodge meeting. About 20 minutes after he left, he walked back in the door. And Clotilde, she said, "Thibodeau, I thought you was going to your lodge meeting. What you doing back so soon?" And sadly, Thibodeau replied, he says, "Well, it's like this. We had to cancel the meeting because Boudreaux, our grand, exalted, maximum, invincible, supreme leader, Marie wouldn't let him go." Poor fellas. Alright. Since that one bombed, I'm going to do another bomb. We call it a salvo. Boudreaux went to the doctor's office the other day. He told the doctor, he says, "I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm always tired. I got headaches, and I can't sleep at night." Doctor says, "Boudreaux, I can't find anything wrong with you. It must be all in the drinking." Boudreaux, "Well, I'll tell you what, Doc. I'll come back when you're sober." You know what I mean? You know, doctors, they're always drinking. When you say, "Hey man, I smell alcohol, what's that?" They say that's rubbing alcohol.
Because they
I
gotta put up with patients like
I
Boudreaux.
resemble that.
Yeah, they was cleaning their utensils.
A friend of mine stayed at a major hospital in Boston on like
Oh, wait.
the 7th floor, and he showed me a smoking lounge. And all the doctors and nurses were up there smoking butts. One had a joint going, the other had a beer, and it was pretty fucking dishonest.
Crazy.
Okay. Open mic.
I'll get up there.
Okay, come on, man. Let's everybody welcome up the fiddle.
Woo, the
Are you
dog.
there? Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Well, I have stupid one-liners again. Hope you enjoy them.
Favorite.
Okay. I don't have a beer gut. I have a protective covering for my rock-hard abs. Is what I
Little cushion, huh?
No. You know, I read recipes the same way I read science fiction. I get to the end and I think, well, that's not going to happen. Did you know knowledge is knowing a tomato is a fruit, but wisdom is not putting it in a fruit salad?
True.
This is true. Life is like a bird. It's really pretty and cute until it poops on your head.
Yes. Not so cute after that.
Okay. I'm skeptical of anyone who tells me they do yoga every day. It's a bit of a stretch. Yeah. I don't have a girlfriend, but I know a girl that would get really, really mad if she heard me say that.
And a wife would be furious.
Good one.
Busted.
A computer once beat me at chess, but it was no match for my kickboxing.
Oh, you're kickboxing.
We're flying.
Yeah, my first experience with culture shock, probably when I peed on an electric fence. That was,
That'll do
Yeah,
it.
that must have been quite a shock.
yeah. And this is kind of true, too. Worrying works. More than 90% of things I worry about, they never happen.
Yeah, it fixes it all.
Right, exactly. And this is true also. I don't have an attitude problem. You have a perception problem. Did you know that money can't buy you happiness? That's what I heard. Well, check this out. I bought myself a Happy Meal.
You're happy there.
You French fry shorto?
Letting go of a loved one can be hard, but sometimes it's the only way to survive a rock climbing catastrophe.
Yep.
A positive attitude may not solve all your problems, but it will annoy enough people to make it worth the effort. That's for damn sure.
Oh, is that why I'm so...
That's for damn sure.
Knowledge is power, and power corrupts. So study hard and be evil. I don't know who said that, but
That's good.
women should not have children after 35. I mean, come on, really. 35 children, that's enough. You know?
Oh, no kidding.
It's never a good idea to keep both feet firmly on the ground. You'll have trouble getting your pants on. And my last one for the night.
Johnny! Oh,
Change is inevitable except from a vending machine.
Oh, right. Yes, exactly.
hugs, Johnny.
And that's all I got to say.
Well done, Fiddler.
Thank you, folks.
All right, Big Hand and the Fiddle.
Good job.
Hey, John Reed. Good to see you again.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, Johnny.
I ain't been well.
Oh, man. Sorry to hear that.
No, hugs, hon.
Sorry, Johnny.
Sorry.
We've been thinking about you.
Hello, Boston.
I just came in for a little bit tonight. I'm home right now. Thank God.
I
And
know. How's your brother?
my brother died.
Oh
Oh,
my God! I'm
Goodness.
so sorry, baby.
Oh,
I am so
sorry.
sorry.
Sorry, Johnny.
Yeah, hey,
My condolences, Johnny.
we all gotta go sometime, honey.
Oh, yeah.
We're all gonna go.
Well, I'm gonna daisy in my asshole when I go.
Oh my goodness. Oh
I'm
my
like damn
goodness.
sure to find them.
Well, I'm gonna be.
You hear that, Fiddler?
Yeah.
Don't forget.
We're gonna find somebody.
Escape of my ass.
Oh my
Lisa, I told you to stop calling me Daisy.
wow.
That's
Oh,
funny.
that was good.
I didn't like that comeback.
Good.
That's a
Yeah.
good one, Daisy. I mean, honey.
Yeah, I plan on getting well someday.
Oh, what happened to my thing?
Well, I'm hoping you do.
You rubbed it too hard.
Yeah,
Damn.
I don't see why I'm not here. I haven't called her in a couple of days.
Her sister is up from Florida. She takes a nap. She might join us.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm just happy that I thought about you. I've been thinking about you.
Well, we've been thinking about you too, dear.
Well, why not been telling me about you all and stuff like that? You know, me and why not stays in touch? I don't have none of y'all other all. I don't have nobody else's
Phone number.
phone number. Yeah, so I can't call. You know what I mean? Yeah, I just thank God that okay, you know what I mean? I'm glad y'all y'all sounding good and everything.
Well, I'm glad you're here, Johnny. Now sit back, relax, and listen to this here joke. Tell me if it's any good or not.
Uh-oh, I hope it's one of them, what's that guy's name?
Boudreaux, man. Boudreaux.
Boudreaux, yeah.
All right.
I hope it's
87-year-old Boudreaux. He went to the doctor the other day. Now, he explained his problem to the doctor. He said, Doc, you got to help me. Every time I make love to Marie, I get weak in the knees. My eyesight gets blurry, and I can hardly catch my breath. The hell's wrong with me, Doc? Doc says, well, Mr. Boudreaux, these things happen. You've got to realize you're getting pretty on in your years. These things are perfectly natural for an 87-year-old man. When did you notice these symptoms? Boudreaux, he thinks for a minute, then he replies, well, let's see. It was 3 times last night and twice this morning. I guess he was dizzy. I ain't that old. I'd be dizzy too.
Right?
All right, one more. Boudreaux was back at the Bayou Bar last Saturday, down in a few of them beers. He was starting to feel pretty frisky. Well, y'all gonna remember this one. I'm embarrassed. He was making small talk with the barmaid, and pretty soon the talk turned to fooling around. And Boudreaux, he asked that lady, he said, Cher, which men you think make the best lovers? And she replied, the absolutely best lovers are the American Indians and Louisiana Cajuns.
Oh, yeah.
All right, who wants to finish that joke?
That's number 17.
Can't believe
My name is Boudreaux Bernstein.
Boudreaux, big feather, you know.
Boudreaux said, Monsieur, let me introduce myself to you. My name is Geronimo Boudreaux. At your service. All right, over mic time.
I'll do so.
All right, everybody, let's welcome up Jim. Yeah, Jim.
On the stretcher that he's tall.
Welcome, Jim.
Thanks.
8-foot tall motherfucker up there.
Did I get my hover wrong again? Oh, my feet are on the ground.
No, you're
Sorry,
just
you
taller
fit in
than
the
me.
camera. You good?
You're good.
Well, actually, you don't. Let me back up. All right, go.
President Trump campaigned on ending the war in Ukraine on day 1. The White House press secretary this week recently clarified that Trump actually said on day 100. I had a first date last week. She said, if you expect me to go to bed with you on the first date, you'll be disappointed. I said, oh, you feel weird doing that on the first date? She said, oh, no, I'll sleep with you, but I'm bad in bed.
Thanks for the warning.
I say the worse the better. Elon Musk's SpaceX blew up just seconds into its mission. It explains how he ended up with all those kids.
Wow.
Iran
Richard bought some new boots and he was showing his wife. He said, "You notice anything different about me?" She said, "Well, no, not really." Well, disappointed, he left the room, came back with nothing but his new boots on, and he asked again. She looked at him and said, "Well, yes, I see you're drooping today." He said, "Well, that way it sees my new boots." His wife said, "Well, maybe you should have gotten a new hat." I saw the news today. They're making progress cloning a woolly mammoth. They did some genetic engineering, and by making a woolly mouse, they're making progress. It was step one. It was step one. Step two is getting the mouse drunk enough to have sex with an elephant.
Oh boy.
Oh, wow.
Pepper was bragging about the size of her hillbilly ranch, saying if she started driving her truck in the morning by sunset, she'd still be on her ranch. And I said, "Yeah, I used to have a truck like that, too."
Oh, shoot.
I was getting in the shower, and I yelled up to her, "Where's the rake?" She indicated using charades she couldn't hear me, so I pointed to my knee and acted like I was raking. She responded, pointing to one of her breasts and then her butt and in between her legs. I was so confused, I just went upstairs and I asked. She said really solemnly, "You didn't understand? Left tit behind bush." That's really a tit joke, not a boob joke. I claimed it was going to be a boob joke, but it wasn't. Last week, the recently deceased Pope had a viewing. A record number of mourners attended, 250,000 people. It was also reported that the best-selling souvenirs had this phrase on them: "Kiss me, I'm celibate."
Damn.
PBS reported that 1 in 8, 13 to 20-year-olds polled reported that they knew someone who had been specifically targeted by and impacted by deepfake nudes made with AI. And 1 in 17 had been personally targeted. They went on to say 1 in 17 seems like a small percentage, but 17 is the size of classrooms and sports teams. And one teen heard that and they mused, cheerleaders, yeah. They suggested solutions that included discussing with student bodies. They said student bodies.
Students' body.
Woo.
A creator offered on Discord to make a 5-minute deepfake of a personal girl, meaning anyone with fewer than 2 million Instagram followers, for $65. I guess I'm going to have to start by getting an Insta and getting a job. Melania Trump has gone on the record backing a House bill prohibiting the non-consensual online publication of intimate visual depictions of individuals, authentic and computer-generated. And when I think of the dick pics I've sent, all I can hope is they definitely use AI on them.
Damn.
That's good.
Love it.
Chatbots on Instagram, Facebook, and WhatsApp are being empowered to engage in romantic role play that can turn explicit. Chatbots have been endowed with romantic role play, including sexual banter and selfies. Is this the best time to be fresh out of a relationship? I think so. I can just hear it now. Slap that ass! Give it to me, baby!
Woohoo.
My favorite, is it in?
Give me all 7 of those fingers on that left hand, baby.
I'm gonna joke, Lisa.
I think Wyvern did the acting for that sex pot. I'm not sure, though.
It's true. AI can't do fingers. That's why so many AI pictures have their hands edited out. They can't fucking do fingers.
That's funny.
Good to know.
If you see a picture and you think it's really good, it looks real,
Yeah.
The fingers.
Fingers,
That's
hands, elbows. Yeah, it screws all them pieces up.
When a site is informed about images and removals requested, the bill that they're planning on passing requires they be removed 48 hours after receiving the request. There's a little-known provision in the bill that requires all male members of the House of Representatives to be provided links to the images within 2 hours.
That's just intelligence right there, don't you know?
Exactly right. So the bill, he said jokingly. Melania later announced the opening of the White House Gardens to all Americans, and the first question asked at the announcement was, by opening gardens, do you mean authentic and consensual gardens? Slow down on that one.
Now, we're all trying not to laugh on that one.
All right. Let's see. Well, that was my last joke. I actually copied the left tip behind Bush joke down here and didn't from the earlier. I've already told my final joke. Well, that's
Yay! Congratulations. You did a good job.
Big hands for Jim, y'all.
Well done, brother.
Where we can find you behind the left tip and behind the bush.
Good job.
The left tit's good. Right tit ain't bad either, though.
Well, it's like left brain, right brain. Left tit, right tit.
Well, I don't know if y'all ever noticed, but one's always bigger than the other.
Oh, you know what? I forgot. I need to tell one joke. A person decided they weren't going to be able to make it. They told me to tell this joke instead of her being here. Actually, she's actually here, but she's not here. You all know about the birds that fly overhead in the V shape. One side of the V is longer. You know why? Because there's more birds on that side.
Duh.
Oh,
Knowledge is power, y'all.
If you say so.
I say so, definitely.
That was great. Loved it.
And I always thought it was some kind of aerodynamic vortex thrust thingy.
Yeah, that's
more on one
the
side.
efficacy of just one more bird.
Efficacy.
Efficacy again. It sounds like you're cursing at somebody.
See.
It's like you explaining something to somebody and you slip that word in there. It's kind of like code for saying, you fucking idiot.
Ecstasy.
It's efficient.
No, it's actually Epicat. That's the...
Efficat.
Like we're saying, you.
Oh, see, now y'all throwing new words. Y'all trying to confuse me. Which ain't hard. Careful. Alright, Boudreaux. He made a stop by Thibodeau's house one day. And Thibodeau was herding his 4 kids around. All of them underneath 4 years old. And they all still in diapers. The fuck? Boudreaux said, Thibodeau, Thibodeau, what the hell you doing? Thibodeau said, I'm getting ready to wash all them kids' diapers. Takes me all damn day. Boudreaux, Tib, you ain't never tried them disposable diapers? You don't wash them. You just throw them away. Poof, in the trash. Shit's gone. Now, a couple days later, Boudreaux, he passed by again, and he noticed that all the kids are running around with some pretty big loads in their new disposable diapers.
Oh, sure.
Boudreaux said, Thibodeau, you know you got to change them diapers once in a while. Thibodeau, yeah, but not yet. The box says they're good for up to 23 pounds.
That's funny.
Now, y'all, it's been a very long time since I bought diapers. But I'm assuming it's a 23-pound baby. Or, you know, not a 23-pound turd.
3 pounds of large.
I could be wrong. I mean,
I'm starting to understand this Sheila thing.
Like, I changed a lot of pissy diapers, but when it was shitty, somebody else did that.
Oh.
And she ain't in the next room no more, so I ain't getting no forks thrown at me right now. I thought she was in there. It's the only reason I said that. Alright, I'm evil right now. Alright, one more. Boudreaux's preacher was well known for his excruciatingly long sermons. Now, one Sunday, about halfway through his sermon, the preacher noticed Boudreaux. He stood up and he walked right out. A little later, Boudreaux came back in and he sat down like nothing ever happened. After the service, the preacher, he don't like that shit. He went and talked to Boudreaux. He said, "Where the hell you went, boy?" Boudreaux says, "Well, went and got me a haircut." Preacher says, "Why didn't you do that before you came to church?" Boudreaux says, "Well, I didn't need one when I got here." Alright, open mic time. Who's ready?
If no one's got a set, I have one last joke I forgot to tell.
Alright, come on up here.
All right, great.
Hey,
I've been saving this all week, and I forgot to tell it. All right. Okay, so this 85-year-old guy goes to the doctor, and the doctor says, I need to give you a sperm count. I want to find out how your testosterone's going. I want a sperm count. So he hands him a steel jar. He says, "Go home, do your thing, bring it back to me." So the guy goes home, right? First, he uses his right hand. Nothing. Then he uses his left hand. Nothing.
Oh.
And then he even tried his mouth.
Yeah.
Nothing. Right? So he calls his wife in. First she used her right hand. Nope. Nothing. Then she used her left hand. Nothing. And then she even tried using her mouth. Nothing.
Oh my God.
So what they did is they called their downstairs neighbor, and she comes up.
Damn.
And first she uses her right hand. There was nothing. No, didn't work. Then her left hand, nothing. And then she even used her mouth, nothing.
Wow.
The guy brings back the jar to the doctor, and it's clean. And the doctor says, "Well, what happened?" And he tells him the whole story. And he goes, "Yep, none of us could get that damn jar open." I've been saving that all week for you guys.
Way to close the night.
Alright, big hand for the fiddle
awesome.
again.
That was funny.
Alright, I got one more. That's going to wrap the night up. This is to hold the guys over, because we're in between football seasons. So there's a little football action for y'all.
UFL.
Yeah, they did draft day.
Yep.
Alright, Boudreaux and Marie had just gone to bed when Boudreaux rolled over on his side and passed gas pretty loudly.
God.
7 points, Marie. No, that's him. He says 7 points. And Marie asks her, she says, "What the hell? What that was, Boudreaux?" He tells her that it was a touchdown. He's ahead by 7 points. 7-0. Well, Marie, she knows how to play that game. She lets one of her own go. She says, "Touchdown, we're tied." About 10 minutes later, Boudreaux got that urge again. He lets another one fly. Touchdown, 14-7. Now, it takes Marie less than a minute to match her. She says, touchdown, me too. We tied again. Now, naturally, Boudreaux don't want to lose to the woman. So he tries again. But he done ran out of gas, apparently. He tries, and finally, he starts to force one. But he tries a little bit too hard, y'all. And unfortunately, he had some kind of a little blowout.
Oh, shit.
Marie said, now, what the hell was that? Boudreaux says, halftime, switch sides.
Oh, nasty.
Yeah, it was nasty. Gotta end on a nasty one.
That was funny.
Alright, and with that, I'll do the very last mic, open mic. If anybody has one, you could do it still. I ain't shutting this down. But if not, then we're going to call it a night. And I want to thank everybody for coming here, spending your hour with us, laughing at us, joking with us, putting up with all our dumb shit. And I hope y'all had fun.
We
And
love that
Certainly did.
hope to see y'all next week.
Yeah, we love
And
that.
match game for
Thank
Thursday
you, Nick.
is Star
What's the theme?
Wars.
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Wow.
Star Wars.
Yeah, 'cause May
Yeah.
the 4th, right?
Star Wars?
I don't know any particular one, but it's Star Wars.
May the, yes.
Oh, it sure is.
Yeah.
The Mino and
Maybe I
May the
can be a
4th.
Alright, good night YouTube. Good night Boston out there in YouTube land. And everybody else who watches this in the future. Good night, everybody.
Cesar has an announcement.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Cesar.
Be safe.
Cesar,
Where'd he go?
he's here.
Good.
He has an art exhibit on Saturday. What time, Cesar?
Looks like he's talking, but he's not.
Right.
I hear his mic keying up, but no sound.
Uh-oh, we can't hear you, sweetie.
12 p.m. SL time.
Yeah, we'll be there, Cesar.
Oh, yeah,
Lisa and
we
I will be
Yeah,
there
put
with
that
our
in
bells
local,
on.
right? Put the whole thing in local. Oh, good. Excellent. Got a landmark? Do you have a landmark?
Right, Glee?
Saturday, 12 p.m. SLT. Open a new exhibit.
All right, I'm gonna head out. All.
Okay, good night, honey.
Alright, good night.
I'm
Hugs, hugs.
Sonia,
Talk to you later.
surprised you didn't get up
Good night,
tonight.
everybody.